So this week's question is 2 games, 2 defeats, are West Ham going down? My gut instinct genuinely says no, we're going to stay up. It's for 2 reasons. One is our goal difference. It's not much, but I genuinely think it might save us. And secondly, teams around us are not doing well. They're not gaining points. They're not pushing us down. Is that something we should be relying on? No, absolutely not. I think it's ridiculous that once again, for another season, we're looking over our shoulder to rely on teams to do worse than us to keep us up. It's not good. It's as I said, it's frankly ridiculous. It's not something we should ever be relying on. We should be relying on our ability and skill to keep us up, not other teams doing badly. But look, here we are. We can take advantage of it. It's there. It's happening. The one thing that worries me and the one thing that I feel like could relegate us is attitude. Players' attitude, Moyes' attitude. The players' attitude on and off the pitch. I mean, on the pitch, there's a lack of urgency. There's a lack of passion, a lack of focus. You wouldn't know watching us that we're in a relegation battle and the chance of us going down is extremely high. You just couldn't tell. In interviews, so off the pitch interviews, Mark Noble is talking like we're going down. It's like he's preparing the fans. Cresswell's interview on TalkSport last night, what he said about Deck. Regardless of whether people think that's correct, he should not be saying it. He should, even if you think it, you don't put that out there. You don't put that out here in the media. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure Cresswell should have even done an interview. I don't know who let him, who told him to, because it was a really poor decision. Because he was basically saying Deck should be around players that aren't crap West Ham players. You don't need to be saying that. Look where we are in the table. You don't need that negativity. I mean, I as I said, whoever decided to let him do that interview made a huge mistake. That's not going to help morale in the team at all. I mean, I just don't understand. So as I said, irrelevant if you think it's a correct thing that he said. He should not have said it. So so the attitudes of players, I mean, on to Moyes, even his attitude in interviews is terrible. He's talking, the thing is, he's talking quite reminiscent of Pellegrini, where there's just a lack of acknowledgement of what's happening to us. It's as if we're not in that relegation battle at all. His management, his tactics, that would also be something that could take us down. It's just horrendous. So I'm saying the players aren't playing like we're in a relegation battle. Moyes certainly isn't managing like we're in a relegation battle. So for me, that's a genuine concern, is the attitude on and off the pitch. That will affect what's going to happen to us. And I think if anything's going to take us down, it's that. I think Moyes is using the first 3 games, so Wolves, Spurs and Chelsea, as non-wins, that we weren't going to win. So just play them because it was never going to happen anyway and we'll get points elsewhere. Risky strategy, because the way we're playing, apart from for the first 35 minutes in the Spurs game, we could get thrashed tomorrow. Burnley could easily ruin us. They're a bit of a dodgy team, Burnley, for us. And there's no, do you know what? There's no guarantee from Newcastle, Villa, I mean United as well. There's no guarantees here that we will get points. There's no matches I could look at now and go, oh yeah, 100%, because I just don't know. If we stay up, I don't think it's going to be due to our passion, fire and skill. I think it's going to be a bit of sheer luck. But that said, you never know. West Ham is reasonably unpredictably inconsistent at times, so let's see, maybe tomorrow we will be able to grab a point or even get 3 points. But that, my attitude is my worry, but I think we'll scrape through and we'll stay up. But I will say, if we do stay up this season, going into next season, which will only be a few days after this season ends, if we carry on as we are and everything stays the same, like management wise, and keeping certain players, we'll go down next season. I think 100% we're just delaying an inevitable at this stage. But as I said, for this season, I think we'll stay up. Hope everyone's well. Take care.
So, 2 defeats out of the restart. Are we going down? No, I don't think we are. We're going to scrape it by the skin of our teeth. All right? Only because the others have got hard, difficult run-ins. They've got to play all the top boys as well. So, and I'm talking about Bournemouth and Villa there. But the upper hand that they've got on us is that we can't score. And I can't see us scoring. Can you? I can't. Where's it going to come from? I mean, I've never particularly liked Moyes, and I'm trying not to swear, but I think he's a bit of a dig. How can you have like 2 strikers on the bench and you play Antonio up front on his own? You've got to play strikers, haven't you? I know he's good, Antonio, and I like him a lot, and I've said so on previous videos. But if you've got 2 strikers on a bench, stick them in. What we got, what we got to lose? We got everything to play for. We got to go for these teams. What scares me as well coming up the weekend is we got Chelsea, right? Fat boy coming back. He's going to love to turn us over like an amorous. You know what I mean? Because it's only 2 goal difference that's keeping us out of the bottom 3. So if we lose like 3-0, 4-0 in fact, yeah, we're in the relegation battle. It all comes down to this weekend, whether Fat Boy does this or not. And I mean, I can just see Moyes trying to defend him, being scared of him, which is just, I don't know, ludicrous. We've got to go for it. Other teams are going for it. Villa are trying hard. So I think we'll scrape it by the skin of our teeth, but I ain't confident, as you can probably tell. and I'm worried because we can't go score, can we? Where are we going to score? Who's going to score a goal for us? I can't see any silky play. All the boys are off form. Fornals has had a couple of chances. Don't know where the goal is, does he? He's got 50p for feet at the minute, that boy, which is a bit sad. And Lanzini's just rubbish. Anderson is such a disappointment. So it's worrying times, and I really think this weekend is pivotal for us. So it's a difficult one, but I'll stick my head on the chopping block so we won't go down, but we're gonna stay up by the skin of our teeth. But all right, take it easy. Keep smiling if you can, and let's hope for a good result against Chelsea on Saturday. All right, take it easy. Come on, you eyes. Up the hammers.
2 games, 2 defeats. Are we going down? At this point, I'm not sure. I've always held out the notion that we'll stay up because we've got 3 teams that are pretty much a bit poorer than us. I'm just seeing we've got that faith anyway that we're going to be okay, and it's probably blind faith, but that's what I think as a West Ham fan you've always kind of got. And I'm always kind of a positive fan as well. I try to be at least, but the last few seasons have got me to be a bit negative, and it's a shame really considering where we're at, what we should be achieving in my opinion. But I think after Wolves at home, Tottenham away, Chelsea at home, on paper they're 3 hard games, and for West Ham to come back into that after the break, and I'm not too sure the teams below us have had any better fixtures. I might have to relook, but we've had it quite kind of hard, and it's fine margins. The Tottenham game, if it hadn't been a handball and hit Souček and gone in as an own goal, and Bowen hadn't hit the post and scored instead, they're fine margins. That's a point. It all makes a difference. But it's going to be very interesting, and I don't know if we're going to stay up. I'm going to say yes for now, because I think that the teams below us are poorer than us, as I said. But there's always a chance that can creep up on you and backfire. I think West Ham are playing the wrong game by kind of looking at it as well. We'll just try and play the teams that aren't, top 6 teams and try and hope for a win against them and only get 3 points, which should be enough. That's the wrong approach for me. It's far, far too risky. But there you go. I'm not a manager. I'm not a player, so what do I know? But yeah, I'm a fan that's worried about us. But fingers crossed we can come out of it and at least get a win, hopefully. But yeah, I think we'll stay up if we do by the skin of our teeth.
Hi everyone, it's Jazz answering this week's question. Will West Ham go down? Before the break, I felt that we were looking quite good to stay up. We kind of were playing well, got into good momentum. David Moyes has found a formation that seemed to work. Beccy was playing really well. Bowen had hit the ground running. Haller was improving, and Tony had come back, so it looked good. And we were about to play Wolves, who were going to come back from a long European trip and should have been tired from that. And we were going to play a Spurs team without any of their front three. So I think that's all been taken away from us, and it's kind of a real uphill battle. The fixtures are very hard. All the games David Moyes has lost has been against really tough teams. The Liverpools, the Man Cities, the Arsenals, the Leicesters, the Wolves, the Spurs, and now we've got Chelsea, Man United to come. So I think it's been really difficult and not a real true story of sort of looking at stats and saying he's the worst manager we've ever had. I think you've got to look beyond that. I think he's inherited a squad that's very poor. It's very sort of unbalanced, too many number 10s, not enough grafters. You've got people like Nagakia's issue just come up, which what can he do about? You've kind of got Ogbonna, our best defender so far, who's missing. Haller's the only defender on our books worthy of starting. You can say whatever you want against Jetty and Silva, I don't know too much about, but Jetty's not very good, and I don't think that's going to change overnight. And then you got people like Malenko, Wiltshire, who, although they haven't come back yet, I'm not too sure how fit they really are to start in the last full 90 minutes. So hopefully they'll come into the next few games. You've got people like Anderson, Lanzini, who are just not doing the basics right. They're not even running around. They're not really giving the right signals that they're up for the battle, that they want to be here. And I've heard too much about having to go at the manager, all the managers we've had. I mean, what about the players? I mean, do you really need a world-class manager to kind of motivate you to kind of do the basics, which is kind of trying and running around? Come on, I mean, the modern players, I think, are too spoilt. So for all those reasons, and without singling out David Moyes, he's part of the problem, but there's bigger issues out there. The previous transfer windows, the structure of the club, the scouting system, the plan, the training ground facilities. It's going from one style of management to the other. It goes on and on and on. The new move to the ground hasn't gone well. I think it's all against us. I think the fixtures are hard. Everyone we're playing seems to be either fighting for relegation or kind of European spot, which doesn't help. So for that reason, I never wanted the season to start anyway, especially without fans. And I think we're probably going to go down, I feel. It's going to be close, but I think we're just going to go down. I mean, other teams like Villa, Watford, they seem to be trying. They might not have the 40, 30, 50 million players we've got on the stupid salaries we've got them at, but they seem to want to play for the manager. They're trying, and I think that's what counts in a relegation battle, and we seem to be carrying a lot of players who are coasting, really. So that's the issue. You can't win games without any striker. I don't care what you say, even against Spurs, you cannot win any game in any league without striker, and that's what we've ended up with. Looks like he's going to miss the Chelsea game. It just carries on, really, and losing your first three games back-to-back doesn't help. Could be a shootout v Villa. I don't know, but I feel we're going to go down due to those reasons, I'm afraid, and then see how it goes, really. So come on, you hammers. Take care. Bye.
Hi guys, thank God I'm back, and also thank God that football's back also. Being a West Ham fan isn't that easy, as we all have come to experience, but I have to say that it's a very good time to be in the relegation fight when all the teams around you aren't really doing that good. Like the teams even above us, the likes of Watford, really don't look like putting in a fight. I can only say the goal that they scored during the last minute in the first game through, was it Dawson? That was the match that I thought that they showed they had the heart to fight till the end, but it isn't looking that pretty for them as well. So is Villa and Bournemouth too. So for us at this point, I really think we're fortunate. I don't really see us going down. So let's just stay positive and come on, you Irons. Yeah.
Are we going down? I don't want to say yes, but I can't say no. That was an absolute abysmal performance in the second half from David Moyes. Absolutely shocking. Totally shocking. What on earth did he think that Lanzini and Anderson was going to create to having after being 0-0 at half time? Don't get me wrong, much better improved performance than Wolves on Saturday. But the man's clueless. The man has got no idea on what's going on. Antonio, absolutely screwed in this towards the end of the first half. Should have taken him off at half time and made a substitution. Bring on Sunday Silva, for example. Lamella comes on. What does he do? Nothing. Waits to the 70-odd minute, whatever it was, and then brings on Anderson and Lanzini for Pablo and Mark, which I get. I understand the thinking behind it. Too late. What do you think was going to do? Why didn't you make another substitution? Take Antonio off. Seeing those two weren't working properly. Just take Antonio off. He worked his socks off, bless him, but he was clearly knackered. The live stream I did, we could all see it. We could absolutely all see it. We were talking about how knackered he was. I'm sure a lot of us were saying beforehand he was going to be knackered by the first half. He's played 180 minutes in 3.5 days. It's unbelievable. I really, really try not to get swept away with the emotion of tonight, but he's clueless. He is absolutely hasn't got the slightest idea what he's doing. I've tried to say that I try to give Moyes backing as much as possible over the last 6-7 months now. Can't do it anymore. I really can't do it anymore. The only players that cared out of there throughout the entire 90 minutes was Bowen, Noble, and Rice. That's it. Antonio cares, bless him. He was trying his best. Noble tried his hardest, didn't do anything worthwhile apart from a few passes here and there. Fornell's lacking in confidence again. It's like the start of the season for him. I feel so sorry for the kid. I really, really feel sorry for Souček as well, for that matter. Blatant handball. If Son's offside, that's handball. It's as simple as that. Unbelievable performance. I feel sorry for Antonio because he gave a ball away that, kind of nutmegged stroke, gave the ball away in the build, which caused the build up. You could see from the long shot of the screen, right? As the ball was, as Spurs were on the counter attack, you could see Rice going. He could see his body language. He was screaming at him as it was happening. You could see it coming a mile off. Fabianski in a catch-22. If he stays on his line, the goal's going in. Running in to try and make himself imposing. The ball's going in. So either way, that's a goal. It's as simple as that. But it's frustrating, to say the least. It really, really is frustrating. I've said 9 points over the games. I can't see much more than 4 out of our remaining 7. I hate to say it. We're down. We are down.
Well, with 2 dismal losses from 2 games, I think we're going down. I think if we are optimistic about it, we can look at picking up about 9 points in the rest of the season, which puts us on 36, which I don't think is going to be enough to keep us up in the Premier League. Realistically speaking, I think we're going to end up with about 31 points, picking up points, a draw against Newcastle and a win against Aston Villa on the last day of the season. I can't see us staying up at all this year, which is a shame because we've got such a nice kit coming out next year. It would be nice to say, which is what I said about the Tottenham game, form goes out the window in London derbies. It would be nice to say, as of Wednesday, we will pick up 3 points against Chelsea, nick a 1-0 win, and that will spur us on. But I can't see where any of the goals are coming from. The team looks deflated. The performance is not good. The defence is not good. We've lost a young prospect in Ngakia who, for some reason, wants big money that we're not willing to pay. Championship it is, and a very hard season next year, trying to recover from this year. Never mind, eh?
For West Ham fans everywhere, this is the ultimate football app for you. Never miss a thing with the latest West Ham news, gossip and social stories as they break. Download the free COY Irons app now from the App Store and Google Play.